Hi, I'm Teenie Crochet's and welcome back to my channel. This is one of two-part series where I will be showing you how to crochet these delicious sushi. So whether a lover or a hater of sushi, you have to admit that these are adorable. So for all the items that you will need and a link to the free written crochet pattern, check the description box below. And other than that, get your crochet hooks at the ready and let's get going. The first sushi I'll be making is this one. So to do it, we're going to begin with white DK yarn and my good old trusty 3.5mm hook. So with my white yarn, I'm going to slip knot onto hook and I'm going to chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Now I'm going to do a single crochet into the second chain from hook. So remember, you always skip that first chain. So single crochet into the second chain. And now I'm going to single crochet into the next 9 chain spaces. So 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. After our 9 single crochets, you will have 1 chain space left, and into this 1 chain space we're going to do 3 single crochets all into that 1 chain space. So 1, 2 and 3, and that's going to allow us to rotate our work so we can now work in the back of the foundation chains. So we're going to be working in the opposite side of the stitches we've just made. So I'm going to single crochet into the back of 9 stitches. So 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And into the last chain of this round, or the last stitch, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. So we now have 24 stitches. We have 9 stitches down each side and we have 3 stitches at top and bottom. So we have 24 stitches, and I'm going to single crochet around these 24 stitches for 3 rounds. So 3 rounds of single crochet. So after your 3 rounds of single crochet, it's time to do some decreases. And we're going to decrease from 24 stitches to 18. To do that, I'm going to single crochet into 2 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together 6 times. So single crochet for 1 and 2, then we're going to decrease for 3. And how I am going to do my decreases, or my single crochet 2 stitches together, I'm going to take my hook and insert it under the front loop only of the first stitch. Then take it and insert it under the front loop only of my second stitch, yarn over and pull through a loop. So there are 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through both of these loops. And that's how I'm going to do my decreases for all of these sushis. So we've just decreased for 3, single crochet for 4 and 5, decrease for 6, single crochet 7, 8, decrease for 9, single crochet 10 and 11, decrease for 12, single crochet 13 and 14, decrease for 15, then single crochet for 16 and 17, and in the last stitch of this round, decrease for 18. So we now have 18 single crochets, so 18 stitches, and we're going to single crochet around these 18 stitches 3 rows, or for 3 times. So I'll meet you back here after my 3 rows of single crochet around. And after your 3 rounds of single crochet of 18 stitches, it's now time to do another decrease, and we're going to decrease to 12. So to do that, I'm going to single crochet into 1 stitch and then single crochet 2 stitches together, and I'm going to do that 6 times. So single crochet for 1, and then we're going to decrease for 2. single crochet 3 and decrease for 4, single crochet 5, decrease for 6, single crochet 7, decrease for 8, single crochet 9, decrease for 10, single crochet 11 and decrease for 12. And now I'm going to single crochet around these 12 stitches for 2 rows, so 2 rounds of single crochet. And now before this gap gets any smaller, I'm going to pull my loop up and I'm going to lightly stuff this triangle. I don't want to overstuff it so it becomes really pushed out. I just want to stuff it enough to give it a little bit of shape. So with my polyfill, I'm going to pop that into the triangle of rice. And I only want to stuff it just like that. So now I can reinsert my hook and I'm going to do a decrease round next, and I'm going to decrease from 12 stitches to 9. And to do that I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together, and I'm going to do that 3 times. So I'm going to single crochet for 1 and 2 and then decrease for 3, single crochet 4 and 5, then decrease for 6, single crochet 7 and 8 and then decrease for 9. Now I'm going to single crochet around these 9 stitches for 1 round, so 1 round of single crochet. Then after your 9 stitches we're going to fasten off with this yarn, and to do that I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch to join, and then chain 1, and then I'm going to cut this yarn tail and I can pull through. And now at this point, if you want to, you can add some more stuffing. Now to close this hole up top, I'm going to take the yarn tail and attach it to my embroidery needle, and then if I look at the 9 stitches on top, I'm going to go around and pick up the front loop only of the 9 stitches, so the front loop of each stitch. And when you have all the stitches, pull tight to close that hole, and then you can weave your yarn tail in. Now to make the seaweed wrap for our rice, I'm going to be using dark DK yarn. I'm going to slip knot onto my hook and I'm going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. And I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from hook and in all other chains across. So at the end of this row I will have 7 single crochets. 4, 5, 6 and 7. And at the end of this row I'm going to chain 1, turn my work and single crochet back across these 7 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And at the end of this row I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work again, and we're going to do that for a total of 13 rows. So we want to single crochet across 7 stitches, chain 1, turn our work and then single crochet back across our 7 stitches, and we're going to do that for 13 rows. So I've already done 2, so I have 11 more rows left to do. So when I have finished my 11 rows of single crochet across, I'll meet you back here and I'll attach this seaweed to my rice. So I've finished my 13th row. I'm going to chain 1 to fasten off. I'm going to cut my yarn a little bit longer than normal because I'll use this tail to sew it onto my rice. Then if I bring my triangle back in, I'm going to wrap the seaweed in inverted commas around the bottom, and I'm going to pin the 4 corners into place. Now I'm going to put the longer tail onto my embroidery needle and I'm going to sew it into place. So I am going to go through one side of the rice straight through to the opposite. I'm going to take that pin out now. And then I'm going to go back and do the same. And I'm going to do this across the two tops, or the top and bottom of this wrap. And as you pass the pins, you can take them out. And once I have attached the two ends, I can weave in both of these tails. And I'm going to do that by taking it in and out of various places on the green part for a couple of times, and then I'll cut it off. And there is my first piece of sushi made. So next we will be making this sushi roll. So I'm going to do mine in a different colour. So I'm going to be using yellow for the centre. So I'm going to start with a slip knot onto my hook, and I'm going to chain 2. 1 and 2. And into the second chain from hook, I'm going to do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then to finish this round, I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round to join. Do that again. So slip stitch into the first stitch of this round, and then chain 1, and I'm going to cut this yarn because we finished with it already. Next, to attach our white yarn, I'm going to slip knot onto hook, and I'm going to insert my hook into any of the stitches. I'm then going to yarn over with my new colour and pull up a loop, so there are 2 loops on my hook. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull through both of these loops. So I have attached my white yarn and done the first single crochet of this round. So for the next round, we want to increase from 6 stitches to 12. So to do that, I'm going to do 2 single crochets into every stitch, and I've already done 1 single crochet into this stitch, so I need to do another one. So that's 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and I'm going to continue and do 2 single crochets into all the remaining stitches. So we've got 1 and 2, then single crochet in the next stitch for 3 and 4. Single crochet into the next stitch for 5 and 6, into the next for 7 and 8, the next for 9 and 10, and then the next again for 11 and 12. So we have 12 single crochets. On the next round, we want to increase to 18, and to do that, we're going to single crochet into 1 stitch and then do 2 single crochets into the following stitch 6 times. So single crochet into the first stitch for 1, and increase in the next stitch for 2 and 3. Single crochet for 4, and increase in the next stitch for 5 and 6. Single crochet for 7, increase in the next stitch for 8 and 9. Single crochet 10, increase in the next stitch for 11 and 12. Single crochet 13, increase in the next stitch for 14 and 15. Single crochet 16, and increase in the last stitch of this round for 17 and 18. So we now have 18 stitches, and for the next round we're going to single crochet around, but in the back loops only. So every stitch has 2 loops, or 2 legs, a front and back leg, and ordinarily you go through both, but for this round only I'm going to pick up the back stitch of each loop, the back loop of each stitch, My mind's working faster than my mouth today. So single crochet, 18 single crochets in the back loop only. So 1, 17 and 18. And now we're going to do 5 rounds of single crochet but going through both loops. So 5 rounds of single crochet, and I'll meet you back here when I've nearly finished my 5th round. So after your 5 rounds of single crochet, it's time to decrease. So we're going to decrease from 18 stitches to 12. And to do that, I'm going to single crochet into 1 stitch and single crochet 2 stitches together 6 times. So single crochet 1 and then decrease for 2. Single crochet 3, decrease for 4. Single crochet 5, decrease for 6. Single crochet 7, decrease for 8. Single crochet 9, decrease for 10. Single crochet 11 and decrease for 12. Then I'm going to fasten off with the white yarn, so I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1 and cut the tail. So now we can stuff this sushi. And then with the yarn tail, pop it onto our embroidery needle and go round and pick up the front loops only of the remaining 12 stitches. Just going to add a little bit more stuffing because it was a little bit thin. There we go. And when you picked up all your front loops and you're happy with how much you stuffed, pull tight to close that hole and weave in the tail. So with black DK yarn, we're going to slip knot onto hook and we're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now I'm going to single crochet into the second chain from hook and all other chains across. So that's 6 stitches. So we chain 7 and then we single crocheted across. So we have 6 stitches and that is our first row. Then I'm going to chain 1, turn my work and single crochet back across these 6 stitches, and I'm going to do that for a total of 20 rows. So I've done 1 row, I've got to do 19 more rows of single crochet across, chain 1 and turn, and then when I'm nearly done I'll meet you back here and I'll show you what to do next. And after you've finished all your rows, you're going to fasten off, leaving a long tail, because we're going to pop that long tail onto our needle, and then we are going to wrap the seaweed around the sushi, and using the long tail we can sew the 2 ends together. And then all that's left to be done is to weave in these yarn tails and this sushi roll is finished. So we now have 2 sushi rolls that also look a little bit like eyeballs.
Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and stay tuned for part 2. See you soon!